देखिए, काँवड़ की तैयारियाँ शुरू हो गई हैं और हमारे जनपद में लगभग 240 किलोमीटर का काँवड़ मार्ग है। इसमें जितने भी खान-पान के दुकानें हैं, चाहे वो होटल, ढाबे, ठेले, जहाँ से भी काँवड़िए अपनी खाद्य सामग्री खरीद सकते हैं, उन सबको ये निर्देशित किया गया है कि अपने प्रोप्राइटर के या काम करने वालों के नाम ज़रूर डिस्प्ले करें। ये इसलिए ज़रूरी है ताकि किसी प्रकार का कोई कन्फ्यूज़न किसी भी काँवड़िए के अंदर ना रहे और ऐसी स्थिति ना उत्पन्न हो कि कहीं कोई आरोप-प्रत्यारोप हो और बाद में कानून व्यवस्था की स्थिति उत्पन्न हो, इसलिए ऐसा निर्देश दिया गया है और सब इसको अपनी स्वेच्छा से इसका पालन कर रहे हैं।
ये जो ऑर्डर है उत्तर प्रदेश की योगी आदित्यनाथ सरकार का, ऐसा दिख रहा है कि हिटलर की रूह उनमें समा चुकी है। हिटलर भी एक जूडन बॉयकॉट करते थे, इस तरह का बॉयकॉट हो रहा है उत्तर प्रदेश की सरकार की तरफ से।
Today we will delve into a controversial directive issued by Uttar Pradesh Police, sparking a debate across the nation. The directive mandates all eateries along the Kavod Yatra's route in Muzaffarnagar to prominently display the names of their owners. This movement ignited varied reaction, evoking historical parallels and concern over religious discrimination. Let's break down the key points and perspectives surrounding this issue. Firstly, the Uttar Pradesh Police clarified that this directive is not intended for religious discrimination, but rather to ensure clarity and prevent confusion among the Kavariyas. Devotees who undertake the Shravan Kavod Yatra, the Yatra sees a significant influx of pilgrims who abstain from certain dietary choices during this holy period. The police emphasized that in previous instances there were incidents where the naming of eateries caused confusion and even led to law and order challenges. Hence, the voluntary display of owner's name aims to facilitate a smoother Yatra experience and maintain harmony. However, critics like Bollywood screenwriter Javed Akhtar and Chief Aswin Owaisi have strongly condemned this directive. Akhtar drew stark historical comparison linking to move to practices in Nazi Germany where certain establishments were marked, evoking memories of segregation and discrimination. Owaisi echoed similar sentiments, evoking empathies in South Africa and Nazi policies of Juden boycott. The controversy underscores large questions about religious freedom, communal harmony, and the role of state interventions in public spaces. To understand this issue comprehensively, we need to consider the perspective of all the stakeholders involved. The devotees seeking a peaceful yatras experience, the business owners complying with the directive, and the concerns raised by civil society regarding potential stigmatization. At its core, the debates revolve around the balancing religious sentiments and with administrative measures aimed at public order and safety. While the instruction behind the directive might be genuine, ensuring clarity and prevention, misunderstanding its implementation and perceptions raise critical questions about inclusivity and right to non-discrimination. As this story unfolds, it prompts us to reflect on how policies aimed at public order can inadvertently start debates on identity, tolerance, and the principle of secular democracy.